Hello, guys, and welcome to Football and F1 Show. I'm back. Firstly, before you ask why I haven't done a video for quite a while, it's because I wanted to, take a few days and not do video for a couple of days because in tribute for Diego Jota and Andre Silva. Obviously, the passing confirmed wasn't confirmed on Thursday. I released the video I think on Friday morning, and I didn't want to make a video for a couple of days in tribute to them and pay respects to them. So yeah, um, but like I said to you guys, life is too short, so enjoy while you can, because it's never guarantee what can happen the next day. Never. You can never guarantee what's going to happen. Never. But let's get started. Let's start with the Club World Cup first, as there were four quarter-final games. First game, Chelsea went through after they beat the Palmeiras 2-1. And I think Chelsea played really well. I don't know what people were smoking, because people say, "Oh, Chelsea got a bit lucky with their own goal." Yeah, but if you watch the game, Chelsea were the deserved winners. They had most of the ball. They created more chances. They could have scored more. Palmeiras, except the goal they scored, they didn't have many chances. I think Chelsea deserved to win in that game, in my opinion. Um, and then they go through to the semi-finals, and they've brought some good business as well. They brought in the lab, they brought in João Pedro, and they could bring more players as well. So Chelsea, they've made some good business, but obviously, I still think they need a defender, a top-class defender, a top-class goalkeeper, because if they want to challenge for the title, Robert Sanchez and the centre backs they have are not going to win them the Premier League, in my opinion, or get them challenging for the Premier League. Fluminense beat Al Hilal 2-1, who beat Manchester City. And obviously, you can understand why, because some of the Al Hilal players were affected because of the passing of their friend Diego Jota. The players I'm talking about, likes of Cancelo, Ruben Neves, and understandably so. You can feel that while they were playing that game, they were emotionally, mentally affected, and rightly so. I don't think they should have played this game, if I'm being very honest with you guys. But yeah, Fluminense, I felt like Al Hilal should have had a penalty. I don't know why the referee didn't get that as a penalty, although VAR told them to check it. But Palmeiras, I felt they defended very, very well. When they had the chances, they took it. And congratulations to Fluminense. They beat Inter Milan, they beat Al Hilal, who were clearly a very good team. So they were not easy team to face against. Also for Chelsea in the semi-final, that's for sure. Paris Saint-Germain beat Bayern Munich 2-0, goals from Desire Doué and Ousmane Dembele, despite they went down to 9 men. Yes, Bayern Munich had a goal disallowed, but it was offside and it was the right decision. But PSG were down to 9 men. 9 men, and they still beat Bayern Munich. And not only that, you see the goal that Dembele scored, that second goal, even though they had 2 red cards. That was a brilliant finish. And listen, like, Bayern Munich are a good team. They can play good football, but they don't have anybody who could score the goals for them, except Harry Kane and Musiala, who, by the way, suffered such a sad injury, a heartbreaking injury. I mean, Donnarumma, obviously, Donnarumma was also visibly distraught following this devastating injury on Jamal Musiala after the pair collided at the end of the first half. So yeah, Jamal Musiala suffered a serious lower leg injury, and that means he will be most likely out for 4 or 5 months. He's broken his left fibula, damaged several ligaments, according to some reports. I mean, it's sad to see, because considering a player like him, the talent that he has, it's very sad to see him, suffer an injury like that. Hopefully, when he comes back, the injury will not affect him, because we've seen some great players before who had great talents, but they have that big injury and it could affect them easily. Neymar, for example. So I hope the same thing does not happen to Musiala, and hopefully he comes back stronger. And I wish him a speedy recovery. That's for sure. So yeah, it was a sad injury, sad to watch, and even from Donnaruma's point of view, it was sad to watch as well. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, if I'm being very honest, in football, July has been nothing but sadness, honestly. um, but yeah, but PSG, like, they look so they could PSG looks so unstoppable. Like, despite they were down to 9 men against Bayern Munich, a quality team like Bayern Munich, for them to still win 2-0, a lot. Hats off to PSG, and they showed why they're the champions of Europe. I mean, Bayern Munich were doing quite well in some periods, in a couple of periods of the game against PSG. They had some chances, but except Musiala and Kane, they don't have, proper goal scorers, or players who score goals guaranteed, who's going to guarantee you is going to score goals in big games. Olise is a very good player, but he's not world class. Coleman is a very good player. He scored the Champions League final, but he except the Champions League final, I don't think he's stepped up in Champions League final. Sorry, except the goal in Champions League final 5 years ago, I don't think he's stepped up in big games enough, in my opinion. Gnabry has not been the same as before. Thomas Müller obviously is leaving, and is getting older. Like, oh, he's left actually. Sorry, because that was Bayern Munich are knocked out. But yeah, like Bayern Munich, like they need to sign a top, another goal scorer, because except Musiala, because obviously Musiala is going to be out for 4 or 5 months. Except Kane, they don't have many goal scorers at the start of next season or this season. So I think they need to sign some attackers who can score goals if they want to have a real shot of winning the Champions League 25-26 season. Real Madrid beat Dortmund 3-2. It was looking good. Everything was okay for Real Madrid, winning 2-0. Goals from Gonzalo Garcia, and Frank Garcia, two Garcias, and it was looking good. Before 90 minutes, it was looking good for Real Madrid. No drama, nothing. But after 90 minutes, there was definitely lots of drama. Dortmund scored, got one back in. 2 minutes later, Mbappe scored an amazing goal. What a goal he scored. 2 minutes later, Hedgerson gets sent off. 2 minutes later, Dortmund scored from the penalty. And I got a bit nervy at the end, but Real Madrid still managed to hold on and go through to the semi-finals. So that means the semi-final lineup will be Fluminense versus Chelsea, and PSG against Real Madrid. Listen, if I'm being very honest, the team who wins out of PSG or Real Madrid wins the Club World Cup. No disrespect to Chelsea and Fluminense, but let's be honest. Like, are Chelsea better than PSG and Real Madrid? No. Are Fluminense are Fluminense better than PSG and Real Madrid? Also no. So I think the team who wins out of PSG or Real Madrid, I think, wins the Club World Cup. But I would like to see, Chelsea or Fluminense, whoever goes to the final, will face against PSG or Real Madrid, give a competitive game. I'd like to see them give a competitive game and make it difficult for the other ones. So to see a good final. And yeah, like there's some transfer news happened though. However, Zubimendi confirmed signing for Arsenal. We know that before. Nico Williams signs a 10-year contract at Athletic Bilbao. I mean, he did a similar thing to his brother, Inaki Williams. He was a target for Arsenal, for Bayern Munich, for Barcelona, but he committed to the club until 2035. Listen, firstly, I appreciate the loyalty from him, because staying at the club where he was, as a young kid coming from the academy, similar to his brother Inaki Williams, coming from the academy, sticking to your team, being very loyal. I like that approach. I appreciate it. Sorry, from Nico Williams' point of view. But if he wants to win trophies, he's not gonna win many trophies at Athletic Bilbao. He might win a Copa del Rey, which I think, Athletic Bilbao won the Copa del Rey, I think 2 years ago or a year ago, something like that. but you're not gonna win the Premier. Sorry, you're not gonna win the La Ligas. You're not gonna win the Champions Leagues. So it's a very good signing. Sorry, it's great to see that some of the loyalty is still there in football. But at the same time, I think in football sometimes you have to be a bit, let's say, selfish and aim for trophies, aim for the better of your career, in my opinion. Which I think Nick Williams didn't do. But who knows? He might still. Who knows? He might have. He might win some. He might win La Liga in one day at Athletic Bilbao. Who knows? He might win the Europa League. Who knows? Athletic Bilbao were quite close in Europa League. They reached the semi-finals, even though they got battered by United. But yeah, in my opinion, he should have moved. If he wants to win trophies, I think he should leave Athletic Bilbao. Whether that's this year or next year, I think he should have chosen the opportunity to leave. But he chose to stay, sign a 10-year contract, which I appreciate their loyalty. So yeah, and obviously there was some people going to the funeral of Diogo Jota, Liverpool teammates, Arne Slot, Pedro Neto. Chelsea paid tribute to Jota. Pedro Neto obviously was very emotional, and there was doubts whether he could play the game or against Palmeiras or not. And yeah, but like I said, and I said again, rest in peace, Diego Jota and Andre Silva. Arsenal are getting closer to signing Victor Gyökeres. Finally, Arsenal are going to sign a top-level striker, because for a couple of weeks, you're like, what Arsenal are doing? They're sleeping and they're signing players that they don't really need. They don't. Kepa is not a really must signing for them. Zubimendi, top-level quality midfielder, but he's not a must signing for Arsenal. But this is a proper signing. This is a must signing for sure for Arsenal. Gyökeres is a fantastic striker, top level striker, scored goals, delivered for Sporting in the Champions League, and yeah, and I know people will say that, oh, but Darwin Nunes was fantastic in the Portuguese league as well, and he was scoring goals for Benfica in the Champions League, and then he flopped at Liverpool. Yeah, maybe the same thing could happen to Gyökeres at Arsenal. Who knows? But I feel like Gyökeres is, let's say, more mobile. He's all round. He can not only can score goals, he can also link up at times. I think he's a top level striker. He's up there with the striker, the market for strikers who most of the top level clubs would want to sign, like Gyökeres, Isaac, etc. So yeah, that's just my opinion. And yeah, and I heard some people say that oh, he might flop in the Premier League. There was a problem in his career. Listen, like before Arsenal, before this news broke, those are the same people who were saying, oh, we would love to sign Gyökeres. He's a top striker. Most of the clubs would like to sign him. But now that Arsenal are getting close to signing him, they're saying, oh no, this is not. He might be a flop. Like, come on, like, don't be hypocrite. It's a fantastic signing, and for sure he will improve Arsenal going forward, because Arsenal have had goal scoring problems for 2 seasons, I think, the last 2 seasons. So he'll for sure improve them, and he's gonna be a very good signing once Arsenal get the deal done for Gyökeres. But they're getting closer to doing that for Gyökeres. Now let's move on to Formula One.